It is I, Menice Snowdecker, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today I am having another video of Tales from Menice. In short, these are stories that have happened in my past. Some of them are funny, some of them are life-changing experiences. Or they're just me trying to understand something currently in the moment. But the majority of them are supposed to be for amusement purposes only. So today I'm going to be sharing an experience from Walmart. That might sound surprising at first, but once I start explaining it, you'll understand pretty quickly. Now let's see, where to begin with this one? Well, for starters, before I even start with the story, I'm going to mention I'm only doing this because I want something that I can record that's entertaining while I literally sit here and waste away doing this because /fill commands do not want to work for giant strips apparently. Because it's not inside the world apparently, even though I'm literally looking right at it. Because it's just too far away for the rendered, apparently. Well, whatever, that's fine. I can work with this. Let's see, where to begin with this one? I guess I'll start with saying that it's not a jab at the company. It's just a story with an experience with one of their employees who was being a bit immature and not taking their job seriously. I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to start mentioning that there, just for clarification. It wasn't the company itself, it was just one person out of the thousands and thousands that got employed. Just for clarifying all that. At this current time back then, I was working for a different company. I was working for one that is called Sullivan's. And, well, they eventually sold out to another company named Coburn's and created this joint working. So I was working day shifts, and the person who was there was, I believe, they were part of the second shift, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but that is what I believe. It was either second or third. I know it wasn't the first shift. Anyways, my mother needed something. And she wanted me to drive to Walmart to get it for her. She needed a pet gate back then. This was several years ago. I don't remember the exact year. And truth be told, I was actually about to go to bed right when she asked me to do that. Does anybody else have those instances where your mom asks you to do something at a very inconvenient time or just some point that it's not like the right moment that they could have asked you or something? I mean, I've actually worked with people who say that they're moms and they'll actually purposely try to inconvenience their child a little bit. And they even tell me this. They say that they purposely do it because they just currently don't want to. I don't know if that goes for every mom, but who knows? I'm just asking here. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just asking. Sometimes my mom will say, "Can you bring me a bowl of cereal?" And I'll be a floor above her. And I'm trying to politely explain in the nicest way possible. By the time I get up, go downstairs, make the bowl, and bring it to you, you could have already gotten up and gotten it yourself. because she was literally on the same floor with the bowls and stuff. But I ended up getting it up and getting it anyways. I mean, is it not the natural thing for a child to care for their parents? Is that not a natural thing? I think it is. Anyways, I ended up getting up. I got in my car, drove down to Walmart. It was past 10 o'clock at night. It was snowing outside. Snowing so badly, in fact, that the roads had started to turn to ice. Which is hilarious, because here I am building an ice road. The irony. I could see somebody stitching Sherlock Holmes into this. Irony abounds. Anyways, I'm driving in four-wheel drive, trying not to lose control of my car or go faster than it can handle on ice and snow. It's coming down, I got wipers going on in front of me. It's so dark out, I can only see about 30 to 40 feet in front of me. At the most. And that's with my brights on. Not a very fun night to be driving. Rather irritating, actually. Driving in snow is always hazardous because you need to actually maintain a slower speed. A lot of people don't realize this. Snow is marvelous in its own ways, but it's also a danger if you're not careful. If it gets too cold, you can freeze to death. If it's too warm, it turns to slush. Slush is its own form of, like, mud and snow, but there's no mud. It's just wet snow. And your car skates, it slides, it doesn't want to grip on the ground when that happens. It is a problem. It's very dangerous, and especially when the roads are icy, that's even worse. There have been times I've been driving on icy roads, and my car literally starts spinning in a circle. Yes, that has happened to me before. Fortunately, though, I've been in winter terrain for so long that I actually don't panic when that stuff happens. My heart rate does accelerate a little bit, but I focus on the road, I focus on my turning, I focus on where I'm steering, how I'm steering, and I correct my car to my best possible capabilities so that I do not cause a car crash with any other cars. To this day, I've had that happen to me probably 3 times, and to this day, I have not hit a single car, so I'd say that I'm doing something right deep down inside. I don't know if I saved those blocks, I'll have to go back and look. Anyways, I get to Walmart, I go inside, I find the pet gate that she needed. The reason why she wanted it, simple. She had just gotten a new pet, and there was something in a certain room that she needed to keep open for going in and out on a daily basis, but she did not want the pet to get hold of it. If you are a pet owner who has a pet that's gotten into something that they should not have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect examples of this are cats getting into wires, dogs chewing on shoes or heating blankets. My cat does that to me sometimes. Believe it or not, the cord I use to charge this headset, my cat has literally gone to town with the charging port. He has left his teeth marks all over it. Fortunately, it has a very thick guard over the wire. I just made a mistake. I should not have done that. Give my chest back. Thank you. Here. Put that there for now. I mean, everybody who has a pet that does that kind of mischievous stuff knows that pets are eventually going to do that because they're curious. They don't exactly know better, especially when they're young. It's just a natural thing, and that's why she wanted the gate. It was a simple, reasonable explanation. Anyways, so I go inside, right? I'm walking around, I'm searching. I eventually find the pet aisle. I find a gate, I bring it to the front, and then I realize there's no tag on this gate. Some moron walked into the store, I don't even know how many times I've seen this in my life already. I don't know. It's at least in the thousands. At least. I say this so many times. If you're curious about a product, pick it up, examine it, and then put it back. Make sure you do not damage it. Because if you're not going to buy it, don't touch it. Because somebody's going to come in later, and when the price tag's gone or the box is ruined or damaged beyond repair, they're going to be frustrated with whoever had it last, and that person would be you. There was a way parents would discipline their kids. They would say, look with your eyes, not with your hands. And that is a wonderful lesson that I've enjoyed, that parents have told their kids over the years. Because it's true. You don't need your hands to look at something. You don't need your hands to do that. You just need your eyes. What's that? That's obsidian. Oh. See how I didn't touch it to know what it was? What's that? Oh, that right there, that is blackstone. Look beforehand, but you get my point. You don't need to physically touch an item. I guess you could say my avatar touched it, but you get my point here. You get my point. And I was very irritated by this, because now I couldn't buy the product that I needed to buy. For my mother. And it's past 10 o'clock at night, it's snowing outside, it's icy, I'm tired, I want to go back home and go to bed. So I end up walking over to these two ladies who are there. What is it? Hey, look at that points. Get them before they're gone. I don't need your Xbox points. I'm happy and content with what I have. I have Minecraft, and I have my Beyblade world. I'm happy and content here. So anyways, I walk over to these two ladies. I don't know their names. I don't know their ages. I do not remember their names or their ages, and I never asked in that moment. Why? Because that's not something I should be asking in the first place. I'm just clarifying that right now. Because the next part of this story takes a very weird turn. So they're at the front of the store. Given the position, they have one main task. Watch over the people who are checking out in the self-checkout aisles. Their job was to watch over people in the self-checkout aisles, give assistance when needed, and also keep a wary eye for thieves. And if they find a thief, they have to notify management immediately. Do not engage them. That was part of their policies back then at that time. I'll walk over to them, and I ask them in the most polite way I possibly can ask, can one of you two help me? There's no tag on this. There's no price tag. I can't buy this product. I mean, I didn't know what the price tag was. I just grabbed it off the aisle and walked towards self-checkout like anybody else would. I didn't know what the price was. So I had to physically start looking it up, figuring out what it was, how much it was worth, and, well, we didn't know. I didn't know, they didn't know. Well, apparently one of the girls who was there thought I was cute. And she starts making moves on me. Very flirtatious hints that she was interested in me. Unfortunately, that did not go her way at all. I wish this was not true, I really do, but unfortunately, it is. Fun fact, when I go out and about, when I'm in public, I wear a very unique and distinctive jacket, one that I handmade when I was in high school. I literally sat down and sewed it all together, piece by piece, part by part. That jacket has the logo for my YouTube channel on it. Not just that, but that logo I've literally been wearing ever since middle school. it is such a part of me at this point that you cannot separate me from that logo, even if you file a lawsuit after making a product saying you made it first when I know absolutely sure you did not, just so you could have your way to try to bully me out of my own thing. The truth is, you cannot separate me from that logo. Me and that logo are one. And that logo literally reads, left to right, Jedi of Skulls. And I have that on my jacket. I put it down on almost every box I end up having. I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure I even put that inside of my Minecraft mod pack. I've even made stickers with that logo. Never sold them on my channel because I don't really do things for profit. But just a fun little notion, I have done a great many things with that sticker. It even sits on my Beyblade box that I used to go to tournaments with. But it is a very distinctive jacket. It's black and blue. It looks like a cape, but it's not a cape. It is a jacket because it has sleeves and pockets. Some people see me and they mistake me for a cosplayer. It's a natural reaction I get. Some people try to be jerks about it. They'll literally try to bully me in their own possible way. Hey, Halloween isn't happening yet. I said Halloween's not happening yet. I can hear you, Margaret. You don't need a shout, honey dear. Then why are you wearing this? It's not Halloween. It's a jacket. No, that's a cape. No, it's a jacket. It's a cape. It's a jacket. Look. It has sleeves and pockets. Do capes have sleeves? I don't think so. Some got pockets, but not many of them. Mine's a jacket. It even has a button on the front. Yeah, mine's a jacket. I've actually been considering putting a zipper on it, but I have never actually done so. Anyways, I guess she was interested in the way I looked, and I guess my appearance turned her on a little bit, enough that she wanted to start making slight moves towards me with words. Unfortunately, it did not turn me on. It actually turned me off. I could clearly tell by the way she was looking at me that it was meant to be, you know, a move, or her trying to make a move on me. But that's just it. I wasn't interested. All I wanted to do was go home. And after enduring several of her comments, I literally said under my breath, "Oh my gosh," which was a little bit rude. And she did hear that. And when she asked, why? Do you not like this, basically? I just told her straight up, look, you're at work right now. It's past 10 o'clock at night. It's almost 11 o'clock p.m. It is snowing outside. It's snowing so badly the roads have turned to ice. I am a customer here. Your job right now is to help the customer with the product so they can go home. And that's all I want to do. Hilariously, her friend, the entire time she was trying to make moves on me, her friend was actually trying to help me because she was trying to figure out what the actual price for the product was. So one of them was trying to help me, the other one was trying to flirt with me, which put me in a very odd predicament that I never had to go through in my life. A lot of people don't know this, but girls don't usually make moves on guys. It's always been the other way around. It's always been the guy has to chase the girl. He has to ask her out. He has to look at her dead in the eye and say, "I like you." And then show that he actually means it. So when a girl chases a guy, it usually feels weird. It feels wrong and out of place. Not because it is wrong, but because we're just not used to it. Truth be told, if she was actually doing her job to help me, that would have been a turn on. That would have turned me on. I would have been impressed by that. I would have been amazed by that. But no, she was trying to flirt with me. And that turned me off. Because I wasn't expecting that, and that's not what I asked her to do. I asked her to help me with the price of a product so I could check out, pay for it, and go home. So that my mother could put it up in front of a door so that the pet she had gotten recently would not cause mischief and get into stuff that could lead to, you know, basically deadly trips to the hospital or an animal clinic. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. To this day, I see that as a very odd circumstance that I got put in. Eventually, her friend did find the price, and I did pay for the product. Never got that girl's number, and honestly, I did not want it. I'm sorry, but that is how I feel. If you're at work and you are on the clock, the last thing you should be doing is hitting on people. Why? Because you are at work. If you want to do that stuff, do that in your off time. Do it when you're at a bar, or do it when you're out clubbing with your friends. Do not do that at work, because there are policies in place that literally deem that kind of behavior as inappropriate. Now, if a guy had done that to a girl, I can just leave that whole sentence at there. It's not even a sentence, it's literally a statement, but you get my point with that. If a guy had done that to a girl, it would have immediately been flagged as probably harassment. Most likely sexual harassment, even if it wasn't sexual at all. And inappropriate behavior. And yet, when girls do that to guys, they get away with it. Now, I'm not saying that she really did anything wrong, but from my point of view, I did not like what she was doing. She saw a person that she was interested in, genuinely, or mildly, which just happened to be me. And I wasn't expecting that. Was the way I acted appropriate? Probably not. I view it personally as a 6 out of 10. Hers, I see it more of a 4 out of 10. Maybe less. And that's just personal opinion. I find it really interesting how the whole culture has developed when it comes to dating. Because a lot of males, like me, we are deemed as the good guys in the story. You always see these females hopping online asking, where did all the good men go? We're right here. We're at home. We're playing our games. We're indulging ourselves in our hobbies and our interests. Because we did try to put ourselves out there. We did try. We tried. Key word here being tried. Some of us tried harder than almost anyone else around them. But the girls always flock to the bad guys, apparently. The guys who do not care about them fully, who just have money or muscle, who don't really care about their feelings. And then we tell a girl we like her and why we like her. And they can clearly tell it's not just some game. It's not something where we actually just want their body out of it or something else entirely. No, we actually genuinely like that person. But then they say, oh, we're not ready, or they're still exploring their their interest, or they're trying to find themselves. Do you really expect us to wait forever? 5, 10, 20 years? Just for you to pick us when there's, what, like 50 plus guys in your messages? No. Let me tell you something. I do not enjoy the whole term player. I do not want to be a player when it comes to dating. I want to find one person, and share my life with that person till the day I die. That is genuinely what I want in this current day and age. But you have all these females out there that are literally things that I should not be mentioning here, so I'm not going to. But they do stuff for money. I can't say it all exactly, but I can brief it to that. That one is a bit more appropriate in terms. They create their OF accounts and all this other stuff that nobody really cares about, thinking that it makes them more of a catch, and they create these silly terms, financial dating, mattress actress, all these terms that I look at and just wonder, where did their common sense go? Where did their decency, their deep respect and value for themselves go? I found mine. I'd like to see them find theirs. I don't need some girl who just wants money. I don't want somebody who uses me as a piggy bank. I don't need somebody who's just gonna leech off of me and then dump me at the nearest dumpster after my wallet runs dry. I want somebody who wants to build a future with me, who wants to grow old and one day die with me, who wants to develop a real connection based off of interest and hobbies, not just sexual attraction or some other silly thing that they think matters that just doesn't. They put all this focus on things like, he has to be 6 foot tall, he has to have no receding hair, he has to be good looking, he has to be financially stable, he has to have a really good car, he has to make this and this amount of money every single year to afford my hair, my nails. Girls gotta look pretty, right? Let me tell you something. In all the years I've been alive, I've found long nails to be hindering. Not just hindering, but kinda stupid. And I've seen so many memes that have been made out of that. And some of them are actually on video games, and it's really funny every time I see them. So let me get this straight. You pay for skins to go on your avatar, and then the male claps back. So let me get this straight. You pay for nails to put on your nails? I mean, shoot, I'm not judging, but okay. You know, I almost never pay for skins, ever. The last time I've actually physically paid for a skin, it was in Snowbreak. And it was for that little machine gun that Katya had. The time before that was probably 2 or 3 years before, when I bought a couple unique skins for Clash of Clans. And then I never bought anything on there again. I don't think there was a time before that I ended up buying skins for anything. If there was, then it was probably 1 or 2 more times. Okay, I take it back. I did buy some skins for Minecraft, but I hardly use them. I mean, I got my custom skin. I am content with this alone. This is more than enough for me. I mean, the glove I paid for, sure, but the arm, that was free. The bow and... Or not bow, the satchel of arrows that I actually earned from an achievement. I don't remember if I got the headset for free or if I paid for that. I don't remember, but everything else on it was free. It's all easily obtainable in the free stuff from Minecraft. And I have to agree, some of the stuff that girls pay for to look pretty, I tend to question why they have that. Like high heels, for example. Those feet! My gosh, how do you run in those things? Oh my gosh, they hurt so much. I actually did try on a pair of high heels once. I never put on a pair again. Not because I'm a male, but because those things are so uncomfortable. They're horrible. They're awful. I'd rather have my shoe elevated by like half an inch before I ever even consider having another high heel design. That was so uncomfortable. I could not imagine running for my life in a pair of high heels. So every time I see that in video games or in anime, all I can think is, stop wearing high heels! What are you doing? Where is your logic? You'd run faster barefoot than you would in those clogs. I'm not trying to be mean, but oh my gosh, those poor, painful feet. I misclicked. It's just awful. It really is awful. The majority of males do not care about your makeup. They actually find you prettier without it. I have to agree. Personal opinion, this one's just me. I've always found lipstick to be strange. The same with eyeliner and mascara. And those, what was it, like a spray bottle to flush your cheeks? I don't understand why you really need that. Why do I need pink rosy cheeks? You have a natural color changer. It's called blushing. Have you thought about trying that? I don't know. It's just, I'm just saying. All makeup does is it enhances what's already there. But a lot of males don't really care about that. They just care about the woman underneath. And I'm one of those people. I honestly don't care about makeup. I honestly never have. Never given it a second thought. Even when I create female characters or study upon it or write a story with a female character, I always find it strange with the whole makeup situation. To this very day, I find it so strange, I actually made a comedy skit for one of my stories about a character who wore so much makeup she looked awful. And I even put a line in there where one of the other females was making a reference to a certain type of makeup product that had a really, really, really bad name, but it was super funny. I'm not going to read it here. I'm actually going to save that little skit of mine for something else I'm going to work on later. I promise you, you're going to laugh your head off when you see it, because it is a funny skit. It really is. I almost cry every time I end up reading it. Just for laughs and fun. But I've never understood makeup. I never have to this day. And most likely, I don't think I ever will. I don't really see why you want to enhance your bodies. Or, like plastic surgery, for example. I don't really see why you guys want to do that to yourselves. You're already beautiful the way you are. Why can't you just accept the way you are right now? I mean, be thankful for what you do have. You have a life. You could try living with it. If you can't accept the life you've been given, then what's the point of you being grateful or thankful? If all you ever do is want, when do you finally reach the stage where you say, I am content with where I'm at? And that's where a lot of people fail in dating. They think these things are needs. They're not needs, they're just wants. There's a big difference between needs and wants. Do you want to have a successful life together, or do you want to have all the luxuries in the world? I don't need to feel luxury to feel accomplished. I don't need the richest car in existence. I don't need some $5 million Bugatti or some $2 million Corvette or some other super ultra rare expensive vehicle that's worth millions and millions of dollars to feel happy. I just need a car that can hold 5 or more people, that has a trunk, and that can successfully drive me to where it is I need to go. I need a hauling unit. I don't need some street racer to feel happy. I don't need that. I don't need that. And it's the same thing applies to everything. And a lot of people don't realize that. You need to separate your needs and wants. What you need is to save money. You need to build a future together. And I don't even know how many videos I've seen with a lot of different female people. Getting my thoughts mixed up, sorry. I'm focusing on this and telling a story and going on a side story simultaneously, so that is my fault. And I also got a program that's finishing up on the side here that none of you can see. I just finished editing one of my videos, and it's currently just buffering. It's buffering and loading and trying to save. My little program that helps it all work simultaneously is trying to get it all done. So I'm literally multitasking here in my own unique way. But I've literally seen videos where females have said things like, his bills are my bills and my, or no, not, I got my words mixed up. Sorry. His money is my money and my money is my money. That was what she said. And I looked at that and I raised an eyebrow. I'm literally thinking, what? Why? How does that even work? So his money is her money, and her money is her money. Okay, so what about him? Where does he get his money? This has to work both ways. I'm sorry, what do you mean it doesn't work both ways? If you have a job and he has a job and he's making money and you're making money, then why can't you just carpool the money and work together as a family? You see, this is where things don't work because people tend to get greedy. They only want to serve themselves, and that's an issue that people need to correct. When you are in a family, it's not all about you anymore. If you have kids, your kids need to be your priority. End of discussion. If you and your wife... Let me rephrase that. If a husband and a wife want to build a future together, they need to work in harmony. A happy family is a good family. Here's the problem, though. You're not taught those phrases when you're younger. You're literally taught things like happy wife, happy life. I've never really given that much thought until I got older and hit my 20s. And now I'm seeing it as some big philosophical breakthrough that I'm just looking at as a whole. And it's fascinating that this is the life that we have. What about the husband? What about him? If the wife is happy and the kids are happy, what about the husband? You see, this is why a lot of males ended up developing their own little man caves, because they wanted a place they could be happy. Because they were not cared for in the situation. But eventually, I guess a lot of females didn't like that anymore, and they got super upset and started saying things like, I don't see how he can live like this. And then they'll post a picture of a PC and a sleeping bag in one room, and that was it. And males would just comment saying, it really frustrates them how little it takes for us to be happy. And that really hurts deep down inside, it really does. It really, really does hurt when you look at that as a whole. Because the males were not being respected. They were not being cared for. And that's why I look to other accounts like the Queen of Accountability. There's a couple I follow on Facebook, there's a couple I follow on Instagram. And they keep clapping back towards these modern females who just don't know what they're talking about, don't know how to treat people, don't know what they're going on about, don't know what they're doing. And they say these narcissistical, egotistical things that is super disrespectful and offensive. And it needs to stop. It really does. When you're in a relationship, it has to work both ways. You both need to communicate. You both need to work together. You both need to build your future together. Because you're in this together. Now, every now and then there is going to be a moment where one of them is going to be in that phase where they just need to tell them, I need some time to think or process. But don't take too long. Actually spend the time to get yourself together. Because you're in this together. You're a team. You gotta do things together. People say there is no I in team, but that's technically false. For a 2 cannot be a 2 without 2 ones. And a 1 is an uno. And being the uno, being single, the lonely one is the loneliest number. And when you are alone, you realize, I am alone. So there is an I. Because the 2 cannot be the 2 without you. And that is the cold-hearted truth. And some people just don't want to accept that. Me, I'm a third-party person. I view things as a whole picture. I might not be able to convey my thoughts accurately or fully, but I think it does get the point across in its own unique way. Now, you can disagree with me, that's fine. But I've done nothing but try to spit facts here. To try to make you understand. The type of person I don't want somebody who flirts while at work. I want somebody who's strong, respectful, kind, caring, who's not gonna stab me in the back, divorce me, take half my belongings, and leave me in a ditch or some crappy apartment. I want somebody who actually values me as myself, who doesn't see me as some part of a game or some toy, some obstacle that they just want to conquer just because they can. That's not what I want. I want a two-way relationship, one that is deeply respectful toward both sides. And that was exactly why I went off on that girl when I was at Walmart that night. Because she was thinking not a girl. Sorry, I got my thoughts confused again. I gotta stop multitasking. It's unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. She was thinking like a girl. Not like a woman. And that's what most men, if not all men, actually deeply want. A woman. That's what I want. Sadly, though, I have convinced myself that I've already had my shot and I've missed it. I don't really go to dating groups anymore. I don't go on dating sites anymore. I've tried dozens of them. They did not help me. Their subscriptions do not help you. They don't care about you. If dating sites truly cared about you, they would be purposely trying to match you with other people's interests. And a lot of them secretly do not do that. They purposely try to hide you from them. Tinder, Badu, eHarmony, Plenty of Fish. It doesn't matter what name you bring up. It does not matter which one you mention. Almost all of them have the exact same design and the exact same problems. There were a couple that I did find that actually did try to actively match me with a few people. The problem was almost nobody used them because everybody was using the bad ones, like Tinder. for example. Eventually, I did stay on Facebook dating for a while, but eventually I gave up. I'm more than likely just gonna stay single at this point. I mean, there is somebody that I am currently talking to that I do like that way. The problem is, I'm not convinced that things are gonna go like I would hope in a relationship between us. Because we haven't really been communicating lately, and I've been trying to reach out and communicate with her, but she hasn't really been doing the same. And I understand, everybody has their own lives that they're trying to live, they have their own things that they're trying to get through and go through. I do understand. So I'm not going to get mad over it and start flipping out like, why aren't you giving me attention? Don't I matter? I'm not going to do that. But it gets to the point where if they're not trying to communicate with you, does it really matter? And that's what I've been asking myself lately. I'm starting to believe that I don't really matter when it comes to relationships. And I know that that hurts. But you honestly don't realize just how long good guys like me have tried the dating field. You don't realize how long we've been in it. We've been in it so long, we're always that friend in the corner, in the message, who always gets overlooked, who always isn't really paid attention to. And people like me have just given up entirely. We don't care anymore. All we want to be is happy. How can we be happy when we're constantly being used as a piggy bank? That's not right. That's not fair. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And that's why good guys like me have just slowly started giving up. A lot of people just don't realize that. They don't actually give it real thought. Now, we're not perfect. Okay, that's fine. Nobody's perfect. We're not asking you to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. When it comes to a relationship, you just need to do the right things. You need to be loyal. You need to care for their well-being. You need to stick with them through thick and thin, even when it gets painful and tough. Because that's what real love and affection is all about. If you end up getting a pet, for example, and you abandon them, I cannot look at a person who abandoned their pet as somebody who truly loved their pet. I look at it as somebody who just bought them for the thrill and joy in the moment. And then they decided they didn't want to pay the bills for their food or take care of them. And then they just left them. And that's pretty much what a lot of guys are going through. They're just getting left behind. And now there's a lot of guys out there that, like me, are just living our life like this. We're indulging in our interests. We don't see a point going out into the world and engaging anymore. All the people are asking, where'd all the good men go? We're at home. We're at work. We're hanging with friends once every couple months. If we even have friends that we deem trustable. And then we're just going home. We're sleeping, showering, doing chores, playing a game or two, or watching a show, going back to work, repeat. That's all we do. That's all there is left for us to do. We don't see the point in putting in time towards people who do not care about us. We do not see the point in putting in efforts in a relationship where we are not valued. And that's exactly what's been going on. There is no male loneliness epidemic. So the fact that people keep saying that, I just... I laugh at that. That was a term made up by females because they couldn't find any good men anymore. Why? Because we just got up and left. We're done. We're done playing these silly little games with you. With people who do not care about us. Let me tell you something. I literally go to work every single night with multiple males who literally tell me that they got divorced by multiple wives. I listen to them tell me how they had to afford multiple kids and then had to rebuild their life again and again. There's a janitor that I know. And it breaks my heart hearing this, because he's literally had multiple sets of kids over the years. And he's been divorced by his wife numerous times. Or wives, in this case. And every single time, they would just take half of everything from him. And he looked right at me. He's well past his 60s. And he literally says, I'm never going to date ever again. And hearing that just breaks my heart. Because that's not the way it should be. And there's studies that also show that the majority of actual divorces are started not by the male, but by the female. Because, well, you can just look that up yourself if you're actually curious. But it's because of all these numerous things that have built up over the years that I acted the way I did in that moment. And I told her that very comment in the way that I did. She should not be talking to people like that while at work on the job. And after I paid for that gate, I thanked her friend for helping me. I went out the door. Snow still falling down hard. And I drove home in the snow, barely able to see, on the icy roads. You know, it's actually kind of sad. To this very day, I can still see that girl's smile. The one that was flirting with me. I don't think people realize the type of impact they have on other people in the moment. I don't think they truly understand. I don't think they really ever do. And that is truly upsetting to me. But that's life. And we've just gotten used to it. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Sorry for stuttering and mispronouncing things repeatedly. I've done my best. I have been neglecting my sleep schedule lately, and it's been wreaking havoc on my mind. I just recently started going back to a normal sleep routine. It is getting better, but the last few days for me, when it's come to actually recording, my brain has just been gone when it comes to talking. I can barely even hold a conversation. Because I get all my thoughts just mixed up, and it's really unhealthy. It's really bad. I need to focus on my health a bit more, which I am starting to do again. Anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, then by all means go ahead and give it a like. Not doing my hand signals I normally do because I'm busy doing this and I want to make progress and just get it done. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off. And I will see you, next time. So, bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. And I hope to see you all back here again soon. Hey, one more thing before you go. Could you please check out the links in the description below? Give them a follow. And join the Discord server as well. Recommend more games for me to play. And while you're at it, if you are coincidentally a Beyblade enthusiast, how about you recommend some Beyblades for me to build in this world? No, I'm serious. I am serious. This is literally... Oh yeah, my name's in the way. Okay. Here, could I just... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Beyblade Land. This is literally where I build Beyblades in Minecraft. So, if you got a Beyblade you want to see me build, leave a message. I'll see it. Anyways, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.